see what I'm saying? On the other hand, they were just functioning as gods. You see, they tell you that religions come into play when civilizations start to deteriorate and people need moral guidance as a guidebook just to act human. So we're talking about something totally on a whole other concept. Now, if you want to really ask the question, can you think of this thing in human terms on what it must have was like at that time?
Yes.
We can't even fathom it. Because the whole concept of what we know is based on the world around us is so alien to it. Even when they tell you that man only used 1/10 of his brain, well, that was the white man that only used 1/10 of his brain. But because we are in a society that's based on 10% brain power, we only use 10% of our brain too. So we can't even fathom what a person who has the ultimate function of his mind, body, and soul. You see what I'm saying? So we look at that as just some little primitive culture. Ultimately, ain't great in America. But we're talking about something no different than when you see them doggone space age movies of the people that you know more advanced than you. The mentality that they had was even on another level. To Kemet was in a whole nother dimension compared to what we are. And I saw it one time in when I saw one of David Roberts' pictures he did of Edfu Temple before the colors fell off. And I looked at it and my soul said these people were not human. Not in the sense of what we think humans are now. Although they might have been in a physical body, the entire experience, the entire mindset was on an extraterrestrial level. That we can't even begin to fathom what we have fallen from because we are in a dream state. And although we, a little bit of conscious people, are waking up, we just don't have the memory or the data to even indicate something like that in a world fucked up like this. But every now and then we get glimpses of it. And we can't even explain the shit. So that would be an aspect of it.
Then, Bobby, I must ask you this question, because it is a question that young people will always put to me in seeing this.
Yeah.
If at that time African people were anywhere near this this level of being, how then could some people that we consider to be barbaric and subhuman have ever penetrated that world, let alone to bring it to its knees and dominate it? So I would like for you to kind of look at
great question.
How that happened, how long that may have taken, and then who are these people that came in that we call Greeks and Romans, and at what period did this penetrate?
Okay. Pretty much that's the general historical thing. You can pretty much know it when the invasion started. That's pretty general as far as knowledge and I've been covered. And it's pretty general, but what I can say is we did not fall based on outside invaders coming in. The outside invasions was a part of the process of a twilight period and a shutting down period to go to the next phase in this whole scope of things. And as a result of shutting down and have to go to the next phase, these things came into play, no matter how horrible they seem, as a result of what it had to take to go to another phase. Now you must understand that we had spent millions of years. We never know. It's older than what we think it is. Talking about going to another afterlife. But in order for that afterlife to take place, there had to be a process to happen. In order for that process to happen, you had to have a tearing down of the life that made the civilization we call humanity, that we were a part of, great. You understand what I'm saying? And in order to tear that down, you had to have a mass form of deterioration, regeneration, and straight up disintegration. And basically, in the process of this happening, all of the other things came into play to bring that about. Because ultimately we think that we are in control, and we are not. The spirit realm that's on the inside of us dictated how it was going to bring itself to the next level. And as a result, it brought certain calamities to the outside to condition itself on the inside. And ultimately, we were talking about we were not a part of the physical realm. So ultimately, if we're not a part of the physical realm, the physical body that we have grown to know as us does not have the ultimate say-so. It is the entity on the inside of us. And that entity on the inside of us had to put a certain situation and conditions together to give itself the type of nourishment that it needed to throw off this physical body. And it could not throw off this physical body with the physical realm being healthy and us maintaining the greatest humanity that we had already maintained.